Everyone, welcome to the conversation with Dr. Joan Coleman and friends, and I'm with my friend Megan
Megan Price, Megan P129 on IG.
and Rita.
Hi, I'm Rita Reynolds, and you can find me on Instagram at the Reynolds Love.
Tonight we're going to talk about cyberbullying. Something really tragic could have came out of what happened with Rita. And Rita, she has a story. She could tell it herself because she lived through it. And we just want to talk about it because it's getting crazy out here. It's just getting ridiculous. So Rita, won't you tell us your story and let's get into this conversation. Go ahead.
Well, I think when kids are more like vulnerable, like if they are like, on the spectrum, they're more sensitive. So I think like for parents that for kids that are autistic, it's a real problem because, the autistic kids doesn't really know how is the reality and how is, what is the reality and what is not.
Yeah.
So they get very into, because they're very emotional, they think that people online are friends, and then whatever they say is very influent in the decision that they make.
Well, let's backtrack a little bit. What happened to your family? I don't know if you want to talk about it or not, but there was a case of cyberbullying. So
yes.
You want to talk a little bit? It's up to you. Talk a little bit about what happened.
Okay, so my son some kind of way think that he was like having friends online, and that these friends thinks, very negative stuff that bring him in a like a good place for him. So he tried to harm himself. Thank God I discovered on time, so we can some kind of work in the situation very fast.
Yeah.
Nothing is he's fine. He's fine.
Yeah.
He's healthy. He's happy now. But for me, my experience is like I learned my lesson, and I would never have unlimited stuff. I will, I know there's infinity put like, parent controls. Like I would do my best to just block it.
Yeah. I mean, cyberbullying is hard, and cyberbullying is when people are online bullying, like one kid online bullying another kid. Sometimes they know them, sometimes they don't, but they're saying mean and terrible things, and that could affect a child's psyche. And also, I read online that it affects male too, the man. They get very affected by cyberbullying. Megan, what are your thoughts about this? You have young ones, you have young kids. Talk about it.
I do. And I think that it's terrible. And I don't, obviously don't support bullying of any kind, but I feel like when you're behind a screen and you don't actually see any consequences, people are a lot tougher, and it's a lot easier for them to say something mean when they can't see somebody and how it actually affects them. So it's kind of that out of sight, out of mind, without consequence kind of a situation. And it's not fair to parents to have those types of situations. And, we already have so much to worry about, but that's just another channel where all this negativity could be coming into your home, affecting your child. It's very, very scary. And, I really feel like you have to be diligent about monitoring, and it has happened to my children. Actually, it happened to my younger one. She didn't harm herself, but we were having a fine time. Everything was okay. And then she just burst into tears after she read something on her phone. And, shockingly, her older brother said, let me in that chat room, whatever it was. He went into it and actually knew how to report it to the school, which I thought was amazing, because I didn't even know that he knew what to do and how to handle it. So I was very grateful that the school system had a protocol that he, as 2 years older, knew kind of what to do in that situation so that it didn't escalate. And I'm not saying he was the classiest about it. He kind of told them where to go to, but I was just impressed that he knew how to handle a situation like that. But it's also not everybody has the big brother at home that knows what to do, right? And not everybody that is victim of that is able to share it and say they need help, whereas mine did, but not everybody has those same scenarios.
I mean, I'm so happy that Rita's son is okay and your daughter is doing well. What happens? I know the school has a no tolerance, intimidating, harassment, and bullying policies. So what happened when the kid doesn't want to tell? They shut down. They burst into tears and then they're all right one time. Rita, did you see that and how did you handle that? Did you know what was happening?
Well, they read, like I think they have a system that they can detect stuff.
Yeah.
Like if someone say, oh, I want to know how to tie a knot, that's risky. Or when they say, like if someone say, oh, I want to commit suicide, they detect it immediately. Mm-hmm. That's an alert. They have something that get those things like tracked immediately.
Right.
But yeah, there's a program that they have that the regular people we don't have. But
yeah, I'm trying to figure out if you saw any signs. Like, did you see that he wasn't happy? Did you see that he was having a hard time? Like, even this question for you, Megan, did you see?
You know, he was like saying that, oh, I'm depressed. But, you know, in a kid, you're like, okay, you know, as a parent, you try to, okay, you know, he's the adolescence, he's in the spectrum, yeah. He's fine, but then you realize it's not. Yeah. No, I don't really. You know, I think the trigger was hard, and then I figured out.
I got you. It's hard. It's hard because teenagers are and children nowadays, they want to be so private. They want to keep things to themselves. And you as a parent, you can constantly ask, but you get, I'm okay, I'm good. Megan, what are some tips that, you know, I'm not saying you're the authority, you are Rita on authority of what's happening or what you could tell when your kid is being cyberbullying, but you do have younger kids. So what are some tips that you could tell somebody that's going through this, a parent that might notice something, but they're not sure, you know, what can you tell them to help them?
I would say to have a conversation with your child so that they know maybe, you know, what's right versus wrong on the internet and in those chat rooms and in those conversations and all the 75 million apps that they have. You know, I think that they should have a conversation about what is acceptable and what is not, and also a conversation about, you know, maybe how literally to take things, you know, at such an adolescent age, right? I mean, maybe it'll help, maybe it won't, but I feel like maybe the child doesn't know what to do and all they need is somebody to maybe tell them, right? And like, hey, be aware of these things. Maybe that could be helpful. I mean, I didn't see any signs and my son knew what to do and I didn't. So
thank God for that. Rita, your son is on the spectrum, you know, you're not sure. Tell somebody whose child might just either need that help or they're on the spectrum or they have a special need. I mean, being not that you're the authority, but being that you're a parent of someone that has those needs, what can you tell a parent that's probably going through this but don't even know or don't know what to do?
Well, I go very hard. So I take the tablet away. There's no more tablet. Right. And then there will be a computer in front of everyone, like in the living room. And he will use it in front of everybody. And then when he's done, he can go to sleep. I need to go hard because my situation was very traumatized. So I just can't go light in this point. I need to act, a lot of action. So when he come back, I take the door lock out.
Yeah.
There's a hole in the door. You know, it's my case because but in my case, I need to do that because that's the only way that I know I'm prepared when he come back home.
Mm-hmm. Listen, stop being cruel. You know what? And I say that to ask parents, talk to your kids, check in with your kids. Maybe the kid that's bullying is going through something too that caused them to think they have to bully. They have to be in charge of somebody else's behavior, or, push up on somebody. Talk to your children, spend time to them, find out how their day was, talk to their teacher. I know it sounds, easy, but these things have to happen, especially today when they're so busy on their iPads and their social media and everything else. You have to check in. How you doing? What's up? What happened in school today? I'm okay, fine. And they're back on their phone. Take the phone, take it for an hour or two, have a conversation. And parents, please try telling your kids to be kind. It's kind to be kind, all right? And you don't have to go around bullying people. That's my 2 cents. This is the conversation with Rita and Megan. Ladies, do you have any final words that you want to say about this? I wish we could go a little longer on this topic, but for time's sake. But is there any other thing you want to say concerning this topic? Rita, go.
Well, I think now it's I don't believe in privacy for a while for him in general. Both. Now it's just not both. Like when he come out, my privacy, no, dude, there's no privacy for a while.
Yeah.
In my case, I'm sorry, but the experience make you doubt. Mm-hmm. Okay, I can trust you or I don't. So it's
Yeah.
Like this type of episode put in a situation, okay, I don't will trust you. Well, if you change and I see it, then I will trust again. For now, no.
And it's because you want them to be safe. It's not because you're being a mean mom. It's not because
no.
You want them to be safe. You want them to be okay. And I get it. Megan, any last tips or words you want to say?
One of the things that I always remind my kids is that their words are powerful. And I think that I mean that they could do good with it, but also they are powerful even if they think it's something simple that's maybe negative or like a side comment. I just want them to know that they are small or young or whatever they think they may be, but their words count and matter to whomever that hears them.
Yes, your kids' words matter. Listen. Don't tell them, oh, we'll talk about it later. Listen, they might be trying to tell you something important. Listen, I am Dr. Joan Coleman. I'm with my friend Megan.
Megan Price, Megan P129 on IG.
And Rita.
Rita the Reynolds Love on Instagram.
Cyberbullying is going on. It's a tough topic to talk about, but it's happening. Check your kids, all right? And put in the comment box below if any of this ever happened to you, and we'll be sure to get back to you. Again, this is The Conversation, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.